So, hello Saurav, welcome to CGB Mentors. And many congratulations for your selection in IIFCL.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for having me in this talk, and I am privileged, ma'am. Thank you so much.
So Saurav, we'll start from the beginning, right? तो
Yes.
शुरू से शुरू करते हैं कि आपने कहाँ से शुरू किया and how was your journey. So tell us something about your background कि how you came to this point, how you decided that now I want to do the preparation, or you had the inclination from before itself.
मैम फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल जब मैंने शुरुआत की तो आई हैड डन माय बीटेक इन इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एंड कम्युनिकेशन फ्रॉम गुरु नानक देव यूनिवर्सिटी बैक इन 2000 एंड उसके बाद मैम मैंने आई थिंक एग्जाम्स देने शुरू किए बैंकिंग एंड एसएससी की प्रिपरेशन के एंड फॉर्चुनेटली आई गॉट सिलेक्टेड इन एनआईएसीएल एज असिस्टेंट फिर अल्टीमेटली आई गॉट प्रमोटेड एज एओ आल्सो मीनवाइल जब मैं न्यू इंडिया एश्योरेंस में था तो आई वाज साइमल्टेनियसली डूइंग जॉब एंड प्रिपेयरिंग आल्सो फॉर रेगुलेटरी बॉडी एग्जाम्स मैम मैंने continuously एग्जाम्स दिए एंड आई हैड अपीयर्ड इन 8 to 9 these एग्जाम्स मैम रेगुलेटरी इंटरव्यूज ऑफ रेगुलेटरी बॉडी एंड एआईएफआईज एंड इवन
Okay.
कुछ एग्जाम्स में तो जैसे पीएफआरडीए में तो 2021 का जो साइकिल था उसमें ऑल इंडिया एक वैकेंसी थी मैम यूआर की एंड आई गॉट ऑल इंडिया रैंक 2 सो बहुत पास पास से मैं रहता गया इन फाइनल सिलेक्शन में फाइनल मेरिट में even I had get RBI Grade B interview, I had given NABARD Grade A interview, PFRDA Grade A interview, SIDBI Grade A interview, NHB, ECGC. Means I have given multiple these regulatory and AIFI interviews, ma'am. So somewhere down the line, the final जो merit में नहीं name आ पा रहा था. And fortunately, I was fortunately enough this time that after so many interview failures, I will say, I got selected in IFCL as a grade A officer, ma'am.
Great. तो बहुत सारी मेहनत के बाद में ये जो फाइनली हमें सक्सेस मिली है, सो इट्स ऑल वर्थ इट. सो बेसिकली यू हैड दैट बैकग्राउंड फ्रॉम अर्लियर डेज इटसेल्फ, राइट? मतलब कि आपका प्रिपरेशन जर्नी कब से स्टार्ट किया था आपने प्रिपरेशन करना?
Ma'am, I had started preparation from 2018 only. As soon as I
Okay.
was passed out from my university, and उसके
Okay.
बाद से मैंने banking and SSC की तैयारी शुरू कर दी थी. And regulatory body की तैयारी मैम as soon as I got into the my current job profile in insurance sector, and immediately I started preparing for the regulatory body exams, जो कि मेरा मैम असली dream था. तो
Okay.
first I secured
Great.
the job.
Nice. So now I would like to know there are two phases to the exam, right? In phase one, they are asking everything objective, and phase two is interview, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
this is how the selection procedure is. Now, in the phase one examination, I would like to know that what was your strategy with respect to reasoning, quant, right? And also with respect to current affairs, because I'm sure that the way RBI asks current affair or in other examination current affairs are asked, it might be something different in IIFCL, or was it the same?
Ma'am, it was a little bit different because whatever we are asked in RBI, it's of I think a little bit tougher level, be it reasoning, be it quants, be it GA. And when you are preparing for these level exams, ma'am, the kind of question and the level of questions asked in this exam was a little bit on a easier side. But because the seats were less, so you had to prepare more. And for quant and reasoning, I usually the best solution is to give mocks, ma'am. To give mocks, analyze them, and if you are just giving mocks and not analyzing them, then it is not the solution. You have to give mocks, analyze them, find your mistakes, and after a certain time, you are done with it, ma'am. It's sorted. Coming on to GK, I did 4 sources. Basically, I did daily GK, and secondly I follow 2 sources for it, multiple sources, and I also did PIB, ma'am. PIB daily, I did PIB, and I also daily did finance current affairs, ma'am. So
Okay.
daily I did 4 sources for GA, so it is comprehensive because the kind of GK asked nowadays, it is in very depth. If you will just read the headlines and go into the examination, it will not serve the purpose, because they are asking the news in very depth. They can ask any news from Business Standard newspaper or anywhere from PIB, and they can ask. So you have
Okay.
to be thorough with it, and you have to do multiple time revisions also.
Okay. So one more thing that I'm curious about, that for how many months current affairs is something that you have covered?
Usually, ma'am, I always try to cover for 4 to 5 months, means
Okay.
minimum, bare minimum. But if you are short on time, 3 months is necessity.
Okay. So tell if I ask you about your experience for the IIFCL exam, what do you think? 4 to 5 months current affair was more than enough, or 3 months was also like, if you go with the 3 months preparation, that was also
Ma'am,
enough?
if I will say, if you have sufficient time, you can go. You should go for at least 5 months. But if you are
Mhm.
really short on time, because domain knowledge is also there for part two, in which technical subjects are also asked, like finance, management, corporate banking, treasury, risk management, project
Project
finance. You
finance,
you have
yes.
to study all these topics also, and these are all technical in nature. And because if you are very short on time, you can trim a little bit. You can go deeper for 3 months, and you can just go for headlines for like fourth month and fifth month if you're really short on time. But you have to be very particular about doing these technical topics, because the final cutoff will be based on both quant reasoning also and these technical topics also. So you
Correct.
have to give equal weightage to both, ma'am.
So what was your strategy for preparation for your technical topics, like as we discussed, project finance, circulars, all of that?
Ma'am, these subjects were new. Like project finance is not asked in any other regulatory body exams and many. So I decided to purchase the course of Crack Grade B, in which I could
Okay.
get a comprehensive of all the subjects. I could get a comprehensive material, because I was short on time, because I had to do job also. And in the morning time, I used to study from the course material, and during lunchtime also, during the job hours, I used to put my earphones on and listen to your lectures only. And after
Okay.
coming from office also, I used to go to library and study all these materials. So it helped me, because I didn't had to search from multiple locations, different locations. All I was getting all the material on a single place. And the material from management and finance, I had already prepared earlier for RBI. So I was
Okay.
not having much worry for it. But the other subjects like risk management, corporate banking, treasury, project finance, these were all new for me. So I think CGB helped me a lot, because they had compiled everything at one place, ma'am. So big thank you
Okay.
to CGB.
Nice. It's very good to hear that. And also, Saurav, I'd like to ask you one thing, that how did you manage the time? Because was time a issue for you while attempting the paper? And what was your strategy regarding the paper? Ki, how I'm going to attempt that? Or like what was your last minute plans for the revision, or any kind of tips and tricks that you'd like to share?
Time was not an issue in this exam, ma'am, because the earlier exams which I had faced, like RBI, NABARD, time is a very big issue in these exams. So when you are preparing for all these exams, you already get prepared to face the time crunch and all this.
Correct.
So it was relatively a little easier in this particular exam, the time part. But because I had prepared and I had revised it multiple times, the technical portion also, and the practice from previous exams for reasoning and quants helped me in this also. So time was not a big crunch. But yeah, managing the preparation part between the technical part and quant reasoning was a thing while you are preparing for the job. With the job, while you are preparing with the job, because you have to divide the slots, like morning time you
Correct.
can give for quant reasoning, evening time you can give for the technical portion aspect. So this is how you can manage, ma'am.
तो आपने शॉर्ट नोट्स भी बनाए थे?
Yes, ma'am. I had made some short notes also, because I to usually print out the material, and for whichever thing I'm not printing the material, I usually make short notes. So
Okay.
definitely, some people like to study soft copy, but I usually prefer to study on hard copy, ma'am, and underline the things, and it is easier for me to retain. So I usually printed the material and I underlined the things, so it is helpful for me to retain it for a longer time, ma'am.
Nice. And this was like for your phase one and phase two. Sorry, phase one just. Now let's come to the phase two part. That how did you manage the interview thing? There are so many things, and there were some guidelines that before interview also some tests will happen. So were there any kind of tests, and how did you went for the interview? How well prepared you were? What were the sources that you prepared for the interview part?
For interview, ma'am, as I have told you, I have already given 7 to 8 interviews earlier also for regulatory. So I had a bit of experience, like what kind of questions they can ask, because mostly questions will be related to your background only, the work profile which you are doing, performing, and the overall financial things going on in the world, in the Indian economy. So the questions, I had a fair bit of idea. The questions will be in this direction. So for the interview preparation, all I had to do was I had to align my current job profile, how it will be helpful in this job profile
Okay,
which IFCL was offering. So, ma'am, I this time I gave it all for the interview. I took some leaves also from my current organization, and I prepared. For this interview, I gave multiple mock tests. I gave with CGP also, and ma'am, through mock tests, there were like some questions for some technical questions which were as it is asked in the final interview. So mock
nice.
interviews always give you an edge. So you should always go for mock interview. You should practice in front of mirror, and the final questions can be as it is same also. And continuously, ma'am, also I went through the current newspaper
Yeah.
happenings in the world, the business standard newspaper, the financial awareness. So all these things were also asked in the interview, ma'am. These were the things how I prepared for the interview.
So while you were going through the in your newspaper part, I'd like to ask you one thing, that you only focused on infrastructure part, or you focused for the general economy also in the financial newspaper?
I focused on both, ma'am, because interview is very vast. Or the interview can ask you anything.
Yeah.
From past experiences, I have realized that interview can ask you from anything, be it financial sector. So you cannot pinpoint that if it is an infrastructure financing organization, it will just ask you from infrastructure only. It can ask you from anything, ma'am. So for any interview in these kind of regulatory bodies, you have to be ready to face any kind of question, and you have to prepare holistically, ma'am. So that's
Okay. So did the interview panel also ask you about your educational background? Any questions regarding that?
Not much, ma'am. Not much from educational background, but surely they asked me how your this role in the your current organization will be helpful in the current infrastructure financing thing, and also they asked me the technicalities, some technical question based on infrastructure financing, some ratios like NPV, what is NPV, what is IRR, internal rate of return. So some technical
Yes.
questions, some ratios which are used in the infrastructure financing. They asked me, which I had already studied in the project finance part, which was covered by CGB very well. So that is it.
Okay. So CGB helped you in your phase one examination for the technical part, right? And I'm sure for the quants and other sections also. So can you give us a number that how many mock tests you gave for your phase one?
Ma'am, usually I had given many mocks in the past, but for this
Okay.
exam I gave I think 4 to 5 mocks. But if you're
Okay.
really a fresher, you should give as many mocks as you can, like 10, 15, 20. There is no stoppage, ma'am, because quant and
Mm.
reasoning. I think practice. None of the practice is enough, ma'am. You have to continuously practice because to
Correct.
stay in the touch, because the continuously the level of exam is increasing day by day for quant and reasoning. So that is the reason,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. So now, just to sum up, anything that you'd like to share, ki, this is something that I have done extra, or this is something which I have done unique that has helped me till this point, like any word of wisdom that you'd like to give us.
Ma'am, I will just say do manifestation. I think I have believed that power of manifestation is there because I always used to. I am working in this current organization, but I always used to say that you are Saurav Trikha, you have to be a grade A officer. You will be grade A officer. So I always manifested, ma'am. And so after so many interview failures, anyone can feel rejected. That why I am not able to cross that last line. you are clearing pre mains. But I never lost hope, ma'am. I was always positive. And it is not that I was just doing job just and doing this preparation. I also means maintain my physical activity, physical routine also, like doing exercise daily. And so I believe that you have to be you have to, when you are preparing also, you have to be physically fit also. And ma'am, you have to be always positive. You have to be always positive, ma'am.
So you are actually radiating positivity. That I should mention specifically. Sort of one last thing that I would like to know. So, how did you come to know about CGB? What was your first interaction? Because, like, after talking to you, I know that you are following us since very long time. But what was the first interaction that you had with CGB?
Ma'am, actually, I got to know CGB, I think in 2020,
Okay.
because I had seen the YouTube videos like you were teaching, ma'am. There are some lectures which are there available on
Okay.
YouTube also.
Okay.
So I used to follow you. You were teaching commerce and accountancy there, so I was following, and I had followed Ashok Yadav sir also, and I was continuously purchasing means courses from CGB. So
Okay.
sir also know me personally. So
Mm.
I had been associated with CGP for a long time, ma'am.
Yeah, obviously that shows that you have reached till interview stages of these many exams. Obviously, I guess you have aced the code.
Yes,
So, congratulations one again. And it was really, really nice talking to you. And I'm
ma'am.
sure this video is going to help future aspirants also.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
ma'am.
Saurav.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.